Welcome to Two Wheels, and on this week's show Wayne brings us some off-road action from Wales, and later Jeff will be here with some tech talk. But first, we've all looked in motorcycle magazines, haven't we, and we've seen those great photographs and we've said, what a great picture, I wonder how they got that, what a great piece of road that is, I'd love to ride that, I wonder where on earth it is. Well, I tried to find answers to some of those questions recently as I teamed up with a motorcycle magazine on one of their road test days. Well, this is the man with all the answers. This is Warren Paul, the deputy editor now of said publication. A grand title, that. Wazza to his mate. So, Wazza, what are we doing here today then?
We're here, you join us on a fine two wheels only road test. The main group test for this month's magazine, for a behind the scenes look at what exactly goes on magazine road testing. Right, OK. Well, it looks like the lads are having a lot of fun, but is it all fun? Primarily, yes. It's a big excuse to enjoy yourself and play at motorbikes, and then the journalism bit is the bit of work you have to do at the end of the day when you write the story. Right, so what's the objective today? We picked some nice roads. How do you pick your roads? How do you know where you're going to go? Well, it's the weather. You check out somewhere like the weather sites on the internet, find out where the sunshine is, and that's our holy grail, because without sunshine... Where they say it's going to be sunny and avoid them, because it never is. Right. OK, so we've got three bikes out with us today. Yeah. We've got... Go on, tell us what we've got. We've got a Buell Firebolt, a new Buell. We've got an Aprilia RS 250, a little two-stroke. And we've also got a CBR 600. Right, now them three, when you say them three, I wouldn't have thought that those three would fit together in a group. No, you'd be right to think that one way, but look at it another way. It's not an obvious group test like the 600s, the 750s, the V-twins, but it's more of a, these are similar style bikes. The Buell has got a lot of handling in it. Eric Buell said he wanted to make it like a 250. The RS 250 is a 250, it's a pure handling bike, and the CBR 6 is an everyday benchmark sports bike that'll do it all. Right. So they're really, you know, if you were looking for a sporty bike, these are three different options that would all fit your bill. Right. What you're saying is you've cheated and made them into a group, haven't you? And there's only so many 600cc group tests you can do, so yes, we struggle every month to find something else. So what will they do? Well, who have we got riding today? Remind us of the three riders. Right, we've got Bertie Simmons, our assistant editor. Yep. We've got Gus Scott, our road tester and racer. And we've got Darryl Young, another one of our road testers. So what will they do? Will each one of those guys ride all three bikes? Yeah, they will hop around from one to the next, riding all day. And then what, is it a brainstorming session at the end? And more of a bum fight. Tea and biscuits and a quick fight. Right, OK. So, well, it looks like, do you not get kind of frustrated standing on the sidelines watching them? Because you're a road tester. Well, yeah, I am, but today I thought I'd come along and help you guys out and take a back seat from the road testing to let the guys do their thing, so I'm trying to keep me all out of that one. Well, it all sounds very organised and very straightforward. I'm sure you've got everything covered, have you? Always. Always. It's a very slick and professional organisation. I'm sure it is. Only. Right, well, we'll leave it there for now and we'll go and catch up with the riders. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? We hope nothing. Well, we've left the country lanes of Leicestershire behind now. We've travelled a few miles north up the road and we're here at Donington Park, and these are all the various parts of the circuit. These are all the monitor cameras that they have on the racetrack. The lads are going to be putting the three bikes through the paces, and you can see how they get on a little later in the show.
We're in the heart of Wales. We're actually up on the fells near Raider, and there's a real good reason for it, and it's my passion, off-road motorcycling. In fact, we've come to a motocross meeting, but it is an event with a difference. I'll tell you about that in a minute. For the moment, I'm watching. be very curious to know what the difference is then between this event and a normal motocross meeting. Well, the obvious difference to me is it's a Wednesday evening. Well, there's a start. Because these guys ordinarily like to do it a dirty weekend away, Saturday and Sunday, for example. So there's the first difference. The other one is, we're in the heart of Wales, right up on a big hillside, and yet they commandeer thousands upon thousands of people, where normally a club event like this would probably muster up several hundred. It's an amazing event, it's a spectacle. They have music in between each race, they have big firework presentation after the event, and they've got some infamous riders here as well. I've seen Jamie Squibb, he's a guy who does all sorts of jumps and stunts. We've got the world jump champion, Jason Rennie, the guy who jumped 253 foot from ramp to ramp. He's here having a play. So there's a load of famous people and a load of kids as well who are always here to get the face on camera, aren't you? All right, kids, how are you? We've been to the Supercross at Sheffield, and then all of a sudden, who pops up? Jason Rennie. We've come to this meeting now in the heart of Wales. Who should pop up? Jason Rennie. Jason, you do get about a bit, you do, don't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to do as much motocross as I can, really. I really enjoy it. I love it. I did it like 10 years ago. I had an 8-year layoff, and now, last 12 months, I've been back at it, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot less stressful than the jumping, really.
But it's not the same as jumping, because you go out in controlled conditions. Usually there are the better weather where possible, preferably no wind, no rain or anything. This has been a pretty horrible day today.
Yeah, on the way down it was lovely and sunny. When we walked the track when we first got it, it was peach perfect. And then the heavens opened and it's really greasy, and I'm not a real lover of muddy conditions. I'm a fair weather rider now.
Yeah. Now, you've done all right in the events. I've been seeing you. You've, I don't know, 4th, 5th, that sort of area. But you've got the big one to go, haven't you? You've got the big sort of, is it Dash for Cash or something?
That's it, yeah, the grand final race now. So, but I've been feeling pretty good considering it's mud and I don't like the mud. I'm not going too bad, like. So whether it's the others that aren't going too good or what, I don't know.
No, I'm sure it's not. Finally, there is a big tabletop, like 30, 40 foot. That, when you've jumped 253 foot, that really isn't quite a big thing for you, but you go for it.
Yeah, it's not a bad jump. It launches you quite high, like the gearing on my jump bike, first gear is like 3rd gear on the motocross bike, and I'm only taking off in like 3rd gear. So really, normally I'd be hitting some going up another 4 or 5 gears by then. Like.
Yeah, you will be a bit faster. But anyway, best of luck with the final race. If you do win pots and pots of money, don't forget, I am a poor TV presenter. Wish you all the best, mate. Thank you very much. It's been a sort of rainy, muddy, horrible day. It's certainly not put people off. There are thousands of people here. They've enjoyed the racing, which is indeed still carrying on. There isn't just racing going on, you know. I've noticed that there's kids' play area, for starters. There's sort of like fun fair type stuff. There's a bar. I did notice that, although I didn't indulge, you know. I controlled myself. There's the usual burger vans and all that lot. There's even people selling various different stuff. I mean, obviously motocross gear and stuff for the riders, and even kiddies' toys I've noticed back here. I might treat myself to a little model, you know. But the fact about it is they've definitely created what you might say is a whole package for the family, bringing motocross to everybody's eyes, not necessarily just people who are interested in bikes. It's a great event. They've had 3 this year. Apparently they're going to do the same again next year. Big spectacle, and they've been doing it here for years and years. I think it's a great event. I might book my ticket for next year, although, having said that, I'm going to buy a pair of wellies to come in.
Well, that's all for part 1, but still to come after the break, we'll have some tech talk from Jeff, and we'll rejoin our 3 magazine test riders as they put the bikes through the paces at Donington Park. Welcome back to Two Wheels, where very soon you can see the 3 test riders putting the bikes through their paces at Donington Park. And believe me, they do put them through their paces. These boys don't pull their punches. That's still to come. First, here's Jeff with some tech talk.
Wheel alignment. Is it a black art? Not really. The only thing that's black is the tyres. But one problem that you get, there's your front wheel, there's a rear wheel. Just look at the difference in width. But if we had a compressed bike, and there we are, this is how the wheels would be if your bike was running true. If it's not, you could have the back wheel skewed over that way or that way. You've got to make sure your wheels are properly in line for good handling. So how do we do that? This is what we do. First off, coming over to the bike, you'll see some little adjuster marks down the side of the swinging arm on both sides. They're identical, and the wheels should be true if you count up the numbers on both sides, should be the same, but they're not. So the best thing to do is actually check that your wheels really are in line. How do you do that? Well, I've used a piece of string. I've got an old stall up the front, tied a piece of string on, pulled it taut. The main thing is make sure it touches both sides of the tyre. It's just touching the edge there on the back tyre because it's wider, if you remember. This side's the same. Tie it off at the front, and what you've then got is two like railway lines, parallel lines running down the bike. Then you get your trusty tape measure. And all you need to do, remembering that these two are now parallel, same width, you then put your rule on there. What's that? That's about 25 mil there. Measure it there. That's 20 mil. So there's 5 mil difference. I'd already made sure that the forks are actually straight and in line with the frame. So we've got the wheel slightly skewed over to one side. All you then need to do, getting your little spanner, is adjust it. Now the adjusters vary. This is a push type adjuster where you're actually pushing the wheel back. Others you pull it. Again, other types like Kawasaki, they're actually eccentric, but the principle's the same. So slacken off the rear wheel spindle so you've got it nice and loose. Then undo this, and you're going to push one side that way, turn the other one the other way, and screw it around that way, or vice versa. What you're doing is just twisting the wheel within there, but not by very much. You just need 1 or 2 flats at a time. Button it up, tighten up the spindle, go back and check your measurements again. And once you're satisfied that in fact it is parallel and true, just count how many marks you have got on either side, take a note of it, and then you can always use those in the future. So that's it. That's how to check your wheel alignment. And look what you need. Nothing very high tech, is it? An old stool and a piece of string, and that gives you your true wheel alignment.
Well, welcome back to part 2 of our day's road testing with the magazine. As you can see, we are now at Donington Park. The lads are out on the circuit putting the bikes through the paces, and if we can catch up with one of them, we'll try and find out what on earth's going on. Lads, have you... Well, I've managed to grab Darryl and Bertie away from the track here now, stop the fun for 5 minutes. Let me ask you guys, I know when you're on the road you're riding very sensibly, aren't you, Darryl?
Of course.
Of course, yeah. But when you're on the track here, you can have a bit more fun.
Yeah.
What are you going to learn here that you can't learn on the road?
Well, it just gives you an opportunity to push it a little bit more than you could on the road. You've got no oncoming traffic, well, not usually anyway.
Not unless you meet him coming the other way,
yeah, and it's, you know, it's a good surface, you know, there's no rubbish all over the road, you know, you've got to worry about white lines and cat's eyes and stuff, and you can just be smooth and just get a bit quicker. Right,
OK. You agree with that, Bert? I mean, is it... Because a lot of people that buy these bikes, based on your reports, won't ever use them on a track, but do you think it's important, do you, to...
I think, yeah, I mean... I think the image of the bike is actually quite important, and with things like these that are actually quite sporty, they want to know the capabilities of the machine, even though they might not actually use those capabilities on the road. So we sort of give people the idea of exactly what these bikes can do, and then they can obviously make an informed decision about that when they go to the shops.
Right, and I see you've been concentrating, or you seem to be concentrating on the old knee-down shots here. I mean, that's the classic motorbike shot.
It's sort of the classic magazine type shot, which has sort of been around a bit. So a few people have tried elbow down just to push things a bit further, and a couple of us have had head down, elbow down, bike down.
Hey, I've done that, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just really an indication of how far you can lean the bike over, and you know, and the performance of the bike in the corner, which for sports bikes is probably the major thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've been on the Aprilia most of the day today, Darryl, when we've seen you. Have you all ridden all three?
Yes, yeah, we have. Yeah, we spent the day just swapping and changing.
Right, because he's small.
It fits him better, doesn't it?
I have a bit of trouble when I go to sit on another bike. This is still feel wedged.
Right.
So I'm trying to sort of avoid this one as much as possible. But it is a great bike. I mean, it's obviously being a two-stroke, it's not a four-stroke like the other two bikes, so it's very, very different.
Well, I say I'd drag you guys away from the track here to do this boring chat with me, but Gus is still out enjoying himself. What's he doing now, Daryl?
Well, he's because he's been racing, he raced in the Boxer Cup, he's ex-British production champion, he can push it a bit harder than myself and Bert can. So, yeah, he's putting some hard cornering in.
This is the man that seems to be having most of the fun today. Ex-British champion, yeah? I'm right,
correct, yeah,
and still racing.
Yeah, still racing.
What are you doing now?
The tender age of 38, although at 58. But I'm riding the BMW Boxer Cup at the moment,
right.
In the European Championship with BMW UK. So riding about 10th in the championship at the moment. So it's not going too bad. It's tough racing.
This must be good practice for you then on the track, eh? Because this is a track evening, this that we're at now. There are people who've come and paid to do this. So as a racer, I mean, do you think there's a great value in going on track days or track evenings?
Definitely, yeah. I think you can learn a lot from your own bike by coming along on a track evening, for example. People don't even get near exploring what the bikes are capable of on a road. So you can actually learn a lot if you listen to the instructors, and actually there's plenty of track days available, even renting bikes and things, and you can take your own bike along, pay a few quid, and might save you a lot of money at the end of the day.
Good advice. Right, well, let me ask you about the three bikes we've got here today, two very different bikes. Do you have a favourite of these three?
Well, they're all a bit quirky, really. I mean, the CBR's a very middle-of-the-road kind of bike. It does everything right. You can't go wrong with one of those things, really, you know. Yeah. But some people call them boring. Some people absolutely love them, you know. But they are a nice, easy bike to ride. Whereas the Buell...
you seem to be having more fun on the Buell, I have to say.
It's the first time I've rode one, actually, today. It's the very first time I've rode one, yeah. I've never swung my leg over it this morning, and it's grown on me all day. It really has. Everything I've found little bits in it, but I kind of like quirky bikes, you know, that do different things, and you can have a bit of fun on as well, you know, that don't do a million miles an hour, but you can just, you know, you really have to put a lot of effort in to get a lot back as well, and it seems to do everything really well.
It does, yeah.
But the Aprilla's a little 250 race bred two-stroke, and those are slowly going to become extinct, is the two-stroke, and I'm a big fan of the two-stroke. I like them, I love the sound of them and everything.
Yeah. It sounds like you're doing 60 mile an hour when you're doing 10 mile an hour.
Well, that's the good thing about it, yeah, it's very impressive, you know, very impressive to the girls and things when you go howling past on one. You're only doing about 10 mile an hour, like you say. It sounds like you're doing 110, but you can get the things right over, you know, they do handle like a proper little race bike, so that's an ideal thing to take on a track day for the first time, you know, not too much power, but lots of lean angle, brilliant brakes, you know, and it's not going to fling you off, you know, you've got to be pretty good to get flung off one of those, I would say.
Well, it's getting late, it's getting dark, it's going to rain, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yeah, it is unfortunate.
You better get out and get some more riding before it gets wet.
I think I will do, yeah. We need a bit more sunshine, that's what we want.
You see that man sat over there? Sat on the inside of this very tight bend. He is the most stressed out man here. Watch him, just watch in a minute, he'll bang his head on the floor. I'm sure he will. He might do it this time, let's see. Oh, he's getting very stressed. That's Ollie, he's the photographer, and he's got the hardest job of the day, because without his good pictures, all of their input and all of their ability on the bikes and all the organisation is worth absolutely nothing if you've got nothing to show at the end of the day. He will shoot something like 20 rolls of film, about 700 pictures in a day. Hopefully he'll get some decent ones out of that. Just about it. It's now late in the evening, road testing is all over and everybody's in one piece, I'm glad to say, was it?
Thankfully.
Another successful mission. So what happens now then?
Well, now it's a question of everybody going home and going to sleep because they're all quite worn out, not as young as we used to be. Then it's back in the office tomorrow for a bun fight, work out which bike won, everybody fight their corners for their favourites, and we'll come to a reasoned and sensible decision.
And of course check the pictures, because that's important. I mean, that's vital. There's no point doing any of this, is there, if them pictures...
Without the pictures, we've got nothing.
If they don't come out, yeah.
So after a day like today, we'd hope to have, I don't know, somewhere in the region of about 500 to 800 shots.
Wow.
Which we will sift through and select the best ones, and then that magazine thing will happen. It will be turned into a nice 10-page road test.
How long does it take now from now to publication?
It will be a fortnight.
Fortnight?
Yeah.
That's a pretty quick turnaround, that, because it's a lot of work, isn't it?
It's not too bad. It takes you a couple of days to write, but it's more, there's about a week or so in terms of getting pictures scanned and designing it, laying it out, and then the final proofs coming through. So.
Good stuff. One very last thing. When I came here today to meet you guys, I expected to meet your road test editor, that ex-British Superbike chappie, Neil McKenzie.
Yeah.
Where, is he camera shy or something?
Well, I mean, despite living just round the corner, he's not camera shy. But no, he is, unfortunately, in Italy on the launch of the new Ducati 999.
Oh, it's tough, isn't it?
He couldn't make it here today.
It's a very, very glamorous life, road testing, isn't it?
I wish.
I wish indeed. Don't you believe a word of it. It's every bit as glamorous as you think. Now, next week is the last two wheels for a while anyway, and would you believe we've recorded over 300 shows, and there isn't much we haven't done during that time. Well, next week we'll take a little trip down memory lane, and we'll be looking at some of our favourite moments. We'll see you then.